Beyond the Veil, Navigating the Great Awakening, a special series on Survivor Angels.
It's time for Survivor Angels, an approach to strengthen trauma survivors. Here, you can escape what draws negativity and engage your positive abilities and the gifts that you've always had. Let's activate your angels. And to help you on that journey, here's Chaplain Jodi.
So, Jen, how was your July? Because it was going to be a little rocky.
Yeah, I think it's still carrying on a little bit towards the very end, probably a little bit into August, but it was definitely an up and down and upheaval and communication issues. We definitely had issues all around, such as the airlines, missed flights, that kind of thing that came true.
Yep.
And so I think overall, okay, just knowing that, we knew to be cautious about communication and working and taking that step. But all the airline stuff came true, all the disruptions, the flight stuff about, getting to the airport early or missed flights, that all came true. So hopefully it'll be a little bit easier in August.
Yeah, you heard about the Delta flight that was headed for Singapore that dropped 1,000 feet and they had to divert to Minneapolis. And there were like 25 people that they had to take to the hospital. They were in the middle of meal service. And if you weren't strapped in, you went up and came down. And people got hit by those big metal carts. And there was liquid everywhere and food everywhere. It's like massive food fight and nobody touched a thing.
Yeah. I had friends that went to Maui and then they had issues. I don't know if it was weather related, but they got held up 2 days. And I'm like, I told you. And they're like, you didn't tell us. I'm like, well, why don't you watch the podcast? I'm like, I already sent the message out about these kind of problems and issues, just the July energy, so
yeah,
I don't know. I think August will be so much easier.
Yeah. And I know, just in talking with a lot of people, they said too that a lot of conflict, a lot of disagreements, and just all kinds of turmoil communication wise. So some relationships actually ended in the month of July because of all that upheaval. I feel too, like you do, that August is going to be better. It's going to be transformative for people. Not that there might not still be some communication, we'll call them glitches, but people are going to look deeper into them, is what angels are telling me. And they're going to see them for what they are, and then can make some necessary changes.
Right. I think transformative is exactly what I keep hearing. I keep hearing awakening. June and July were setting us up for August. So they put it in your face of the things that you needed to work on. They put it in your face about communication issues and what's coming to a crescendo. And now I feel like August is the time where you actually step back and reflect. This is our stepping off point for the rest of the year. So August will be kind of tame compared to July and June. Whereas it's going to be awakening. It's going to be awakening spiritually for a lot of us. A lot of the light workers are going to be called to do a lot more. And the people who really are reflecting and working on themselves, this is going to be their push. This is going to be their month to really step into their own self and their own power to get things done. We've already gone through the conflict. We've gone through what's no longer serving us. We've already gone through the decisions that we're going to make. But this month is going to be a little different because things that haven't come to light are definitely going to come to the forefront. Secrets. I keep hearing secrets are going to be revealed.
Yeah, reveal is a big part of August, both within
Yeah.
ourselves and in others. And because of that, there's going
Mhm.
to be some forgiveness that needs to be done. I call it August is going to be the heart communication challenge month. It's going to be getting down to some nitty gritty issues in relationships, whether it's spouses, partners, parents, siblings, co workers, friends, anything, children could could be all of them. I don't know because everybody's different, everybody's situation is different, but it's going to reveal a lot about ourselves and a lot about the other person or persons that are in our lives that are important to us.
Yeah, I'm getting like a little bit of the personal weight of decisions are going to be off of us. I feel like a lot of the stuff that's coming up in August is going to be politically motivated, political issues, a lot with Russia going on. I think it's one of those where you step back monetarily if you're looking at, finances and stocks and that kind of stuff. Really be aware. August is time to really kind of protect your savings, protect yourself, protect what's going to go on, because I feel like politically, this is the month where things are going to start rolling politically about secrets being revealed, whether it's the Epstein files, whether it's the prior administration, whether or not things are going to be revealed. And that may cause some political upheaval economically. So I think those kind of things are going to come to the surface while we're reevaluating our own lives. I just feel like this is a very political month.
Interesting. See, angels don't really talk to me about politics because they're not political entities, nor do
Right.
they talk to me about financial and economic pieces because that's not what I'm going to leave that to you and your spirits to do that. But it's interesting because Jeff and I we were out at Gettysburg Battlefield Bash, and we realized we've got some transmission issues with our vehicle, and so we headed into the shop, and it's like, well, okay, we're going to get the tranny flushed on it and we'll see how it does. It's still got a lot of life to it. So we're hoping that just because we were driving some hills and it probably needs the flush, will be okay. But in the meantime, we were
Right.
looking, maybe it's time to get a new vehicle. It's 8 years old.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
based on what you said, no, I think we're going to hope the tranny flush works. So we're just going to sit with our truck.
Yeah. Small that kind of thing. I'm talking about like gas and oil spiking. I'm feeling though like I feel like waves, tidal waves, hurricanes, those kind of things may be impacting other things. But politically, I'm getting like people just kind of need to chill out, hold on to your hats, because this is going to be kind of an ugly month politically. So if you
Okay.
can't handle that kind of thing, then you may need to plug. You may need to just kind of move yourself away from that kind of download. If that kind of triggers you and sets you off and drains your energy, you may have to step away. Don't watch those. Don't worry
Right.
about you at
And,
this
and
point, because I think um, there's one thing where things hit us, and then there's something that where the world globally, and I feel this is a global month where it's just not our country, it's going to be globally where something is hitting.
Okay. All right. That's really good to know. And I like that you brought up triggers, that we're going to be triggered. Of course, triggers can come from trauma. It can come from just situations. Triggers can come from anywhere. I'm glad you brought that up. And so just a little piece of advice for our listeners and our viewers. If you do get triggered by something, stop. Just stop where you are and breathe. Breathe through it. Take long, slow inhales and long, slow exhales. And if you need to, just shut your eyes for a minute and block out anything that's in front of you so you're not distracted. And take the time that you need and get yourself past that trigger. because otherwise you're just going to get ratcheted up more and more. And that's one piece where Chanuel can really help you with that calming, because it's your emotions. Face it, it's your emotions that are going wacko at that point. So call on, Archangel
Right.
Chamuel in light and love, and just let Chamuel slowly bring you down and bring you back some peace. And of course, that goes to Hanuel too, because Hanuel is about the balance and the harmony, which still in August, you're going to need that balance and harmony.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's so important to know your own self, right? To know how you're feeling, do a self check. And then of angels, pray, meditate, use all these tools that we've been telling everybody about over the months. Start using them, start implementing them, because at the end of this month, I really feel like there's a calling that people are going to need a little extra help from the angels. They're going to need that little help from their own guides and their own gut intuition, that they really need to pay attention to that for them to move forward towards their own awakening.
Yes, most definitely. The other two angels that came forward to me for this month were Michael. Michael is all about cord cutting.
Oh,
He's not just, well, it's part of protection. It's just sort of one of the avenues of cord protection or protection that he has is the cord cutting piece. And so that's not just with people, because we've already talked about the communication with relationships, but it's also about just with other things that maybe you're finding out they don't serve you. Well, for Pete's sakes, cut the damn cord. Um, if it's not serving you, why are you letting it drain your energy? Because that's only just going to set you more on edge for dealing with the other pieces that you're going to have in the month of August. And then, of course, Gabriel.
right.
Gabriel is going to be needed probably through the rest of 2025, the communication piece. And Gabriel is going to make sure that those communications are coming through clearly and that you are understanding them clearly. Call on Gabriel for that piece. That's Gabriel's mission. That's Gabriel's purpose, is the good communication.
Yeah, I think the first of the month and the back end of the month are going to be the most challenging, whereas the middle of the month, not too bad. I really feel like this is kind of the reset for us, the break before the next storms. And like you were saying, it's going to last a long time. We're in a Mercury retrograde, and that's supposed to last, I think, a couple of years. But Mercury is also like in alignment with like Venus and Neptune and all those things, which are definitely like the water signs, those kind of things going on. So if you are a water sign, just know that it may affect you even more. We're supposed to have a solar eclipse, which is probably the longest eclipse that they've had in a long time. Anytime we have solar energy, it definitely amplifies. It amplifies, whatever is going on. So if you have anxiety, it could amplify anxiety. If you are really motivated to go do something, it'll amplify that energy. You can use it as a good and not just a bad. So just realize what's going on. But this, like you said, I keep hearing transformation. What else? Spiritual grounding. I took some notes. Spiritual grounding is going to be super important this month specifically, about getting through things. Self-reflection. I just keep hearing like this is a work on me kind of month. And for anybody that follows me and watches, they just saw that I joined a gym. So definitely working on me, right? Got to put your money where your mouth is. And it's one of those that's, my back started hurting a little bit. And it's those things that and those things that, you say and do, and, you just let them go. And it's like, no more time. It's time to jump on the bandwagon. It's time to bite the bullet, start eating healthy, start looking at better things, because, it's all about being better than you were yesterday, taking that one step forward, doing things for you. What is not working for me anymore? Well, sitting on my butt is not working for me anymore. So, you know, a little light lifting, a little treadmill like 3 times a week. And it's those kind of things that we really have to start looking into and working in August. And if you need that help and that push, who would you specifically say, you know, help me with this? Who would you call on, Jodi?
Yeah, for motivation, it's Michael. Michael is the encourager and the motivator. So he, you know, because he just sits there kind of up the top of all the archangels, he wears a lot of hats, but definitely encourages and motivates, because again, that's part of him protecting you, because he's protecting you from that side of you that says, I'll do it tomorrow. No, there is no better
Right.
time than today. There simply isn't, because tomorrow it'll be, well, I can't because of blah, 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 whatever it is. Do it now. And so just every day when
Right.
you're dropping your feet, you know, off the bed onto the floor, go, Michael, I know you got me. Light and love, I know you're there with me. So let's get at this, you know, and just let him lead you and guide you. Another piece too with this, Jen, is we're coming up on the end of summer. Right now, we can get outside and do beautiful, wonderful grounding. Well, we need to start thinking now
Yeah.
about what are we going to do come the cooler fall days and winter. And so I recommend that people start right now planning what plants can, if you don't already have, can you get into your house that every day or every couple of days you can kind of tend to get your fingers down in the dirt a little, not just the watering, but actually touching to help you get through our long winter months. You know, you're in Idaho, I'm in Minnesota, and they can get kind of long. But start some of that pre-planning, and Sandalphon is really going to help you with that piece. So just be mindful. You know, a lot of the nurseries and stuff, they're going to start having big plant sales. Start checking them out. Even if you don't have a green thumb. Mine's kind of brown when it comes to house plants. I do better with outside plants. That's
That's
the
an
farmer in
absolutely
me.
great
But
point.
yeah.
To start planning ahead. You know, we talk about August being a stepping stone or a building. How are we actually building success for the upcoming months? And it's so important, because I know I have friends, California, Oregon, those kind of, where they get the gloomy skies and the clouds, and you get in that funk because you just got out of summer. It's been fantastic. And now you got clouds and rain, and there is such a thing as, you know, depression because of the weather. So it's good that you're thinking ahead about how to set yourself up for success. That's one of those things that, yeah, absolutely, in August. It's one of those do it kind of things. So if it's like you said, plants, how about pumpkins? If you get a pumpkin plant and plant, you know, right in time for October. You know, it's just those little things that make you happy, you know. Even if it's like buying sunflowers, you know, bring some of that outside energy in, do a clearing, clean the house, you know, air it out, get all that fresh air and bring it back in. You know, there's so many things you can do that take minimal effort for you to get through a day. And just
Yeah, I mean, like right now, we've got the Canadian wildfires. We are so smoke filled. It would be a perfect day today if it wasn't for the smoke. Okay, so you can't open the windows, you can't really get out of the house, but it will end. So in the meantime, like what I'm doing is I'm a music freak, I guess you would say. So I always go for sound. And so I wrote down, these are some of the supportive frequencies that if you can't get out, and even keep
right.
these for the winter months too, the 396, that one is going to help to release your fear and guilt, which you could have some of that now in August with these conversations that you're going to have with loved ones. Another one is 528, which is about heart opening. Like I said, this is going to be a heart communication challenge month. So that one is going to really help you with that. 741, detox and self expression. that's what's going to be part of your
That's awesome.
transformation as you're having these conversations. It's the self-reflection piece. So that's going to get all the icky crap junk out of you and able to, express yourself to hopefully bridge some gaps in these relationships. And then finally, 963, like you said, the divine, the consciousness, that's going to help you make that connection even better. So I will put all of those in the description of the podcast. So in case you didn't have something handy to take notes, you can go back and refer to that also.
Those are great resources, I bought tuning forks a long time ago to work on frequencies, especially working with Reiki and using it to heal certain areas of the body. But just the bathing and the white light, burn a candle, have some scents, bake something in the oven, use a little magic, sprinkle some love into it. All those things that we have our natural power. It doesn't have to be expensive, doesn't have to be fancy. Light a candle, ring a little bell. Those are all things, sound baths, as you're drinking your wine. Anything, something that's going to lighten your mood and your spirit. Those are the things we have to really kind of incorporate in August, especially when you do have those conversations. And once again, my guides keep telling me things that are going to come to light, secrets that come to light. So I don't know if business partners may be hiding stuff, relationships might be hiding stuff, politically might be hiding stuff. Things are going to come to light. So don't be surprised, because you heard it here, that when things actually come to light, you know how to navigate it, you know how to work through it. Just kind of, that's when you take the step back, self-reflection. How am I going to navigate this? Okay.
Yes.
But I definitely feel like this is an awakening for so many people, awakening spiritually and physically and mentally, and you name it. Revelations that we'll have for our own purpose, our own self-alignment. This is that month. To do the meditation and yoga and everything else along.
Right. Yeah. And that's a great path to get started on, because this is the beginning of your awakening. And it doesn't just happen for a day or a week or a month. This is long haul, and don't be afraid of it. Don't be worrisome about it, because as you move through it, yes, there will be some ups and downs with it, but that's part of the path. It's part of your journey, which is going to ultimately get you to a far better place. So just keep your angels close. And if it is worrisome to you, Michael, for sure. Just, if he's the only angel you call on Michael in light and love, and he's going to be right there with you. You're still going to have to do the work. None of the angels are going to do it for you, but they're going to guide you and give you the information that you need to keep progressing on your journey. And I think I speak for Jen when I say this, that we are so excited for you if you are now starting that journey, because it is life-changing. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I think more and less are hearing it now. And maybe that's because we're decluttering, we're clearing out. My guides just told me that there are going to be some people who are going to find that others are talking behind their backs, that others are doing things that don't align with them, that aren't cool. Friendships may have some splits. That's them pushing you, saying, hey, divide the line. Find out what's best for you. Where's your alignment? What you are not removing, you are allowing. Remember that. Inaction is actually action. So if you don't want something in your life, you have to do it. You have to navigate towards that. And if you do nothing, then you're allowing it. So stop allowing it. Start taking control of your heart, your head, your energy, right? And start navigating towards what you need to, because once you take that step, everything's going to go into the path it should. everything's going to start working for you. I always tell people about the pebble in the water. You put the pebble and you see all the ripples. Okay, well, then the water goes and the pebble is struggling. Don't be the pebble. Go with the flow. Because when you're working against yourself, you will see those ripples. Things will start moving in your way. Things get in your way for a reason, right? So we want to divert and go with the flow of the natural energy that we have. If you're butting heads and it's becoming a problem and things are not working the way they should, that's the self-reflection. Step back, awaken, realize what's going on, redirect.
And I think that's a great place to end this. So thank you, Jen. That was incredible advice for everybody. And so for all of you, until next time, you've been watching Beyond the Veil. And Jen and I love bringing you these messages once a month. And we will be back next month.
Thanks again for joining Chaplain Jodi on Survivor Angels. For more information, go to chaplainjodi.me. That's chaplainjodi.me. And on Facebook at Survivor Angels-Chaplain Jodi. This is Dave Schrader. Until next time, sending you off to activate your angels.